Today, we're going to be talking about two unfathomable cases that happened in South Korea and in the Philippines. Both cases are related to SA cases, just letting you guys know. First, let's talk about the case of Miss Che Malta that took over 60 years to get justice. So it was spring, May 6th of 1964, 61 years ago, in a rural village in Kimhae, South Korea. An 18-year-old woman named Miss Malta was violently attacked. She claims that she was walking home alone at 8 p.m. when it got pretty dark. Then a young man in his 20s asked her for directions. She told him where to go, but he insisted and kept following her along until he pushed her to the ground. It was a rural village, so no one heard her. She was knocked in the head 3 times, which made her extremely dizzy and go in and out of conscious. He got on top of her, pinned both of her arms down, and tried to force himself on her. Obviously, in a desperate act of resistance, Miss Choi, the thing that she thought to do was to bite the suspect's tongue as hard as she can. Now, she bit so hard to try and get this attacker off. Apparently, she severed nearly 1.5 centimeters of his tongue. 1.5 centimeters, is that like this much? She then runs away, and somehow the suspect knew who she was and went to her house. He told her family that she severed his tongue and wanted to go to the police and press charges. Remember, this was in the 60s. Instead of being protected by the law, this female victim, she was punished for what she has done. Yes, the victim, she was convicted, quote, charged with grievous bodily harm. Now, the attacker, on the other hand, claims, hey, she attacked me back, and now I'm disabled. He says that because he got his tongue cut off, now he has a permanent speech disability. And this case obviously went viral, newspaper viral, back in the 60s, and literally the media published, it says, quote, the attacker and the woman's ties are meant to be. They should get married. This was literally the mindset back in the 60s, where if you were attacked, assaulted, you were supposed to be marrying your attacker because now, like, her virginity has been kind of taken away. Miss Choi was then sentenced to 10 months in prison, suspended for 2 years, labeling her as a criminal. And the most baffling part about this case is that the attacker, he got a lighter sentence than Miss Choi. The attacker got 6 months suspended for trespassing and intimidation, no mention of attempted rape. And this is a real photo of 18-year-old Miss Choi. She's literally in scrubs, like she's in her prison outfit getting a sentencing. She's like bowing her head down like this, as if she did something wrong, as if she is a criminal. Like, how much rage would I have had standing there in front of the judge, where the judges are calling me a criminal for fighting off my attacker? Like, there is no common sense of self-defense. You cannot self-defend yourself, especially as a woman. This was definitely the generation and the era of persuasive injustice and victimizations of victims and courtroom bias, mainly because she was a female. And again, it didn't just end here. She had to go through public scrutiny, labeled herself as a criminal for decades, for most of her life. And especially if you guys know, in the Asian culture, everything about your background and your status matters so much. So if you have a criminal background, it means that you might not be able to get a job, not be able to get married. Now, we live in a better time these days, and back in 2020, which was not that long ago, the Me Too movement started to blow up all over the world, and especially in South Korea as well. More than half a century later, Miss Choi, she is now 78 years old. She was supported by women's rights groups as they heard her story, and they were able to bravely refile for a retrial. Now, initially, her case was rejected by the smaller courts 2 times, citing that she has insufficient evidence that she has been unlawfully detained or coerced into confessing, basically claiming that this case was also such a long time ago and the evidence was no longer available for a retrial. Finally, the Supreme Court overturned these rulings, and after more than 3 years of the review, she was finally able to get this trial. The Supreme Court said, quote, they did find credible reasons to believe that Ms. Choi has been illegally detained, recognizing the consistency of her testimony and mandated further judicial review. Now, recently, very recently, on July 23rd of 2025, the first retrial hearing at the Busan District Court was taking place, and the prosecutors admitted, saying that Ms. Choi's actions were a legitimate act of self-defense against an unexpected sexual assault, proportionate, reasonable, and not unlawful. Moreover, prosecutors actually offered an apology, a sincere apology to Ms. Choi. Coming out of the first hearing, Ms. Choi says no price can compensate for that night, that hellish moment in 1964 when she was just 18 years old. Please keep the memory alive, the agony of me and my family. For 61 years, I lived branded as a criminal. If you have dreams, let them belong to a world without violence. Now, the final verdict is due September 10th of 2025. We're hoping for the outcome of not guilty, so finally Ms. Choi can be proven to not be a criminal, and what happened to her was legitimate self-defense. The fact that we even have to go through court for this is just crazy, and we're hoping that the outcome will reshape how self-defense and assault cases are understood in Korea's legal consciousness. And if you guys didn't know, actually self-defense is a hot topic in South Korea because there's so many cases when you actually attack an attacker. Even if some guy comes up to you and punches you and you try to defend yourself and punch the person back, you can actually, the attacker can actually sue you for attacking them. And there's so many cases where there is no victims, even if they pull the punch first. So we're really hoping that something like self-defense can be reshaped in 2025 and moving forward, as a lot of these laws are outdated. Now, the second case we're going to move into happened in the Philippines more recently, involving a Korean man in his 50s. On June 11th of 2025, law enforcement in Cagayan de Oro City, northern Mindanao, the Philippines, arrested a 55-year-old Korean citizen known as Mr. A. He was actually a YouTuber, a live streaming YouTuber who was running these study rooms for the underprivileged kids in the Philippines. Investigators discovered he was living with a 14-year-old Filipino girl who had recently given birth to his child. Authorities confirmed he was the father of the newborn, prompting charges under multiple Philippines laws for child abuse as sexual exploitation, human trafficking, and this case just boils my blood. So this man is a 55-year-old Korean man who was a YouTube live streamer. Live streaming world is just crazy to me. I don't know. I still don't get it. I think there's a lot of dangerous things that happen in live streaming. He was also a vlogger. He vlogged about his life in the Philippines. He says that, I'm a mid-aged Korean man. I'm not desirable in South Korea. I feel like I'm going to be living alone forever. So he moved to the Philippines. At first, his vloggings apparently didn't do well. So he started to do these live streamings where he went to impoverished, underprivileged towns. We're talking about, this is the video of what the towns look like. People here are so poor that they live in wooden shacks. These kids don't have money to go to school. And even if they do, they don't have money, a lot of money for transportation, proper school books, iPads, and things like that. So what he did was, when he was live streaming, he would feature these teenagers, female teenagers to kids. And they would talk about, hey, I would like a fridge because I don't have a fridge in my house. His live streaming followers or viewers would donate money to sponsor some of these, women. And they were able to donate money, and they saw that, wow, this, 14-year-old Filipino girl, they don't even have a fridge in the house. And I'm able to donate, and she's so happy, and I'm able to, contribute to this. There's other videos where these children are gifted iPads, travel money, money for school, allowances, and things like that. But not only that, because this man, Mr. A, didn't have an actual full-time job, he asked his donators donate to him so that he can get a house in the Philippines and to continue doing this good work. So his little apartment was being funded by these live streaming donators. Now, I guess he received enough donations where he was now able to open up even study rooms. I guess he paid for a little space. It's kind of like an academy academy, a mini school. Now this is where it gets very creepy and criminal. Now apparently there was now a chat room with him and the donators. Again, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but there was a specific chat room between him and the donators, and there was rumors surfacing that Mr. A was actually being inappropriate with the children, especially with one of the girls. This photo surfaced where you see this little girl sitting on the lap of Mr. A. That's not her father. Then more shocking rumors began to surface, such as he was taking shower with one of the girls and it was seen by other students, or that he was watching adult content in the study rooms near all these kids. The donators are writing like, hey, there's rumors about this, blah, 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 what's going on? And Mr. A said, quotes, "This is my personal business. If you don't want to donate anymore, you don't have to. If what I'm doing is illegal, then you can report me." Then this shocking criminal viral video surfaced on his channel. He literally uploaded a vlog claiming that he just became a father at 55 years old and the mother was a 14-year-old student. Her name is Ella, the girl that he has been funding for 2 years. Apparently they met when she was 12. The girl from the underprivileged, impoverished town where he was funding this study room. He also claimed that the baby was premature. She was born at 7 months. Again, he vlogged all of this. He said it himself, that who the mother was, and vlogged the two going to like McDonald's or a fast food restaurant after her delivering the baby. Apparently other students that was going to these study rooms knew all about this because they did not hide it. Another student says that they heard Ella tell them that when she turned 18 that she was going to marry him. Now this is where the 14-year-old girl Ella lives. You can see that her family is very poor, and even Ella's mother, she looks young. I don't know how old she is, but apparently people asked her, hey, did you know about this? Why did you not stop this? And Ella's mom says that she's been traveling for work, far away, so that she wasn't able to keep an eye on her children. Ella herself and her mother knew that she was pregnant when she was about 5 months in. And in one of his sick videos, Mr. A says that I am not the one who first seduced her. It was the girl, Ella. She was the one who did it. Now, early July of 2025, the Philippines police got a tip, a call that this was happening, and the 55-year-old man remains in police custody and he was arrested. He remains in police custody at the moment and he has to go through trial. And yes, this is illegal in the Philippines. I believe the consent in the Philippines is age 16. Just like in Ella's case, like a lot of these parents go off to work all day long, sometimes like in faraway places. They're not supervising their children. Let me know what you guys have thought about today's case. These cases are important to talk about and share. So remember to hit that follow and subscribe button of Grazy TV. See you guys in my next video.